Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone from where I learned this truth. Much respect to the Hopeful Elect. Shalom to you few brothers and sincere sisters that watch my videos and gain edification or useful knowledge in this truth and heed the warning. So, this is a video, an apology by a so-called black woman to the so-called black men, so-called Israelite men. All right. And as we know, we are under the curses. This is the year 2024, the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble. And this so-called black woman, so-called Negro woman, she has she's apologizing to black men. All right, and she's asking a question: why are black women the only nation of women that humiliate our black men? All right, and it's the curses. To simply put it, it's the curses. All right. So I just want you to watch the video, and like we do any video, we chew the meat and spit out the bones. All right. So that's what I'm asking you to do: chew the meat, spit out the bones. You know, whatever you can grab from it, you grab. Everything else gets spit in the garbage.
Question to my black women in particular. I'm posing this question to my black women in particular. I would like to ask you all, why are we, black women, are so comfortable, so willing, so encouraging of ourselves and others who emasculate our black men? Why do we feel it's necessary to always want to showcase to the world how inferior or dishonorable our black men are?
All right. So let's go to the scriptures, because when you watching videos like this, you gotta, you gotta filter things out with the scriptures. And she's asking, why do black women feel that they're so superior, so to speak, uh, over black men? And it's the curses. All right. So let's go to let's see. I don't know if I put that in right. Okay, this is Jeremiah. We're going to go to Jeremiah 31 and 22. All right, we're going to go to Jeremiah 31 and 22, and it reads, "How long will thou go about, O backsliding daughter? For the Lord has created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man." All right, so let's look up some of this. All right, pass to turn about or around, aside, back or towards, to go about, around, surround, encircle, change direction, to be brought round, to change, to march or walk around, to go partly around, skirt, to make round, to turn oneself close round, to be turned over. All right, and that's exactly what uh, the so-called black woman has done. She's learned a way to go around a man because a long time ago, a not so long time ago, you know, a woman, you know, she needed a man. Now, you know, the government has made it so that a woman doesn't need a man. All right, and that's intentional. All right, to break up the Israelite family. So, a woman, the so-called black woman, so-called Negro woman, she doesn't need so-called Israelite woman. The Israelite woman, she doesn't need her man. She doesn't. Every nation in the world knows that a woman needs a man, but except for the so-called Israelite woman, you know, and they created the Lord created a new thing. The woman shall come past the man, shall go around to do without. All right, she's gonna go around the man. She's gonna go to the government. It's like, I don't need you. I can get help elsewhere. I can have somebody else help me. All right, back to the video.
I asked this question because of a recent video I came across of a well-known content creator who has built her following by basically creating videos to show the world how magnificent and amazing and wonderful and spectacular her life is now that she has left her black man, the father of her two black boys, to marry a white man and allow him to father her two black boys.
All right, so as you know, a woman marrying another man is adultery. Let's see. Let's see. Bear with me. All right, bear with me. apologize for that. It took so long. Okay, so this is Romans 7 and 2. For the woman which has a husband is bound by the law to her husband as long as he liveth. But if the husband be dead, she is loose from the law of her husband. So that's the law of marriage, is that if a woman has a husband, she cannot marry a husband. She cannot marry Salaki. She cannot marry another man unless her husband has passed. All right. She's to remain unmarried. All right. So I just wanted to explain that real quick.
This woman has, over the years, let the world know that black women would be much happier if they were to leave their black man, as she did, and marry a white man.
All right. So let's go to the book of Deuteronomy. All right. Unless, oh, Salakia. All right. And then we're going to go to, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. All right. And it reads, this is 28 and 56, Deuteronomy chapter 28 and 56. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground, for delicateness and tenderness her eyes shall be evil towards the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter. So let's look some of that up. 28 and 56. Oh, that was 55. Shall be evil. All right. Be bad. Be evil.
Strong's H 7489. Ra'ah. Ra'ah.
Ra'ah. To be displeasing, to be bad, to be sad, to be injurious, to be evil, to be wicked, to be evil ethically, to do an injury or hurt, to do evil or wickedly mischief, to break, shatter, to break, broken, to be broken in pieces or broken asunder. All right. Figuratively, to make or be good for nothing, socially, morally afflict, associate ourselves. All right. So there you have it. It says, the tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness. Her eyes shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter. Let's look up the word eye. Could just mean eye.
Strong's H 5869. Ayin. Ayin.
Ayin. Eye. A physical eye. Showing mental qualities, spiritual faculties. Okay? In that case, affliction, outward appearance, before, think best, conceit. So affliction, outward appearance, before. It could be literal or figuratively, but I think it means, figuratively for her eye, like her thoughts, like she'll have evil thoughts. Her eye, you know what I'm saying? Like she'll be, focused on doing evil or wicked towards her husband. If that makes sense. All right. So it says toward her evil shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter. Now let's go back to the video.
The same YT men whose ancestors raped us and murdered us and sold us and our children straight out the womb.
So she's saying that the same white man, and that's a curse. And this is Deuteronomy 28 and 41. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them. They shall go into captivity. So let's go to the blue letter 28 and 41. But not without, before, not.
Strong's H 3808. Low.
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 All right, so let's go to shall enjoy them. To fall out, to take place, come to pass, to come about, to come into being, to arise, to exist, to abide, to remain. To happen, to exist, all right? They shall not enjoy them, but they shall go into captivity, all right? So you're not going to enjoy their existence, all right?
The same YT man who has kept his neck on our brothers' necks, literally, for centuries, As black women, are we not concerned or interested or even have any compassion over the way our black men are treated in this society? How they are consistently, perpetually shot at and murdered by our oppressors.
Okay, she said shot and murdered. That's in the scriptures too. Okay. And it says, and ye shall be left few in number, whereas ye were as the stars of heaven for a multitude, because thou wouldest not obey the voice of the Lord thy power. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 62. And ye shall be left few in number, whereas ye were as the stars of heaven for a multitude, because thou wouldest not obey the voice of the Lord thy power. So because we disobeyed the Most High, we're gonna be left few in number. All right. All right. Let's continue.
How our black men are found hanging off of bridges and trees. How our black men and boys are found in lakes and rivers and rolled up in mats, even in high schools, dead with their organs missing. Are we not concerned about the systems that are set up against our black man to make sure that he is either drugged out or that he is simply burnt out, dealing with mental illnesses?
Oh, she said mental illness. Isn't that in the scriptures? Salakia. The Lord shall smite thee. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 28. The Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of the heart. So let's go to the blue letter. Smite thee, strike, hit, beat, slay, be stricken, or smitten. Okay. With madness. Craziness. That's what it says. Craziness. Craziness. So let's see. And blindness. With blindness, figurative or blind incapacity. Incapacity. With blind staggers, making it helplessly wild. Isn't that isn't that uh 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 uh, um isn't that something that so called black men go through? They're helplessly wild. You know, they can't even help themselves. They just wild for no reason. What's that called? What do they call it? Crash outs? Ain't that what they call it? And that's a curse too. Will be known as bywords. They said making it helplessly wild. That's what they call it, a crash out. And astonishment. What's that? Bewilderment. Stupefaction. Bewilderment. Yeah, a lot of us are lost of the heart, inner part, Mr. Things, soul, heart, mind, knowledge, thinking, reflection, memory, inclination, conscience, so it's mind, understanding. And that's the state of the so called black man. The Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of the heart.
Dealing with the if you what's that inferior nature of the world that he was brought into on slave ships.
Brought into on slave ships. Whoa. Isn't that in Deuteronomy? And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again, and ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. Isn't that where we at now? We in spiritual Egypt, and didn't we come here by ships?
As black women, do we not care or take notice that all the systems that be have an agenda against our men to make sure that they are killed either by them or by themselves? And if not that, they are still in slavery as they get dragged into prisons and jails built exclusively for our black men.
I'm not sure if I read that. Sold unto your enemies. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships the whereof, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, and thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. So let's go to that in the blue letter. Turn back, to return, to go back, of spiritual relations, to turn back, to turn away, to restore, refresh, bring back, to bring back, allow, to return, to put back, draw back, give back, restore, relinquish, or give in payment. All right. So, and the Lord shall bring us again. So we're in spiritual Egypt, into Egypt. But aren't certain places over here in Babylon, named after Egypt. Again, to add, increase, to do again. You shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, slaves, servants, servants. And no man shall buy you to get, acquire, obtain of the Most High, originating, creating, redeeming his people. Recover. All right. Let's go back to the video.
I just don't understand how a black woman in 2024 can have any type of ill will against our black men who we have watched suffer by the hands of those who have always hated us.
And hold on. And thou shalt, this is Deuteronomy 28:37, and thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations whither the Lord shall lead thee. Aren't we known as a byword? Black men, crash out. What else? Astonishment, a waste, a horror, ruin, waste, and astonishment. It's like they look at us and be like, oh, what a waste. Don't they say that? They look at black men and say, oh, what a waste. What a waste of talent, or what a waste. A byword. Sharp word, cutting word, taunt. It's like a you know, a word, a byword is like, it's like a derogatory term, you know? It's like somebody calls you by your name, but somebody calls you, but they don't call you by your name. They call you by, hey, you, or, Joe Schmo, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like they call you by something derogatory. Something is, it's like they talking down to you. All right.
We have watched our black men go through trials and tribulations, not just by the systems, but by us, black women, who have Been telling them for decades that they ain't shit. They'll never be shit. We don't need them. We don't want them. They can't do nothing for us. That we could do bad all by our damn selves. How many generations of us black women have told that to our black man as we kick him out our homes, as we tear him away from his family, as we keep his children away from him and treat them as pawns so that we can get coins. You ain't gonna see your child if you don't pay child support. You ain't gonna see your child if you don't give me no money. How? How can we have anything against this black man who has...
Now let me see. Let's see. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thy eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thy hand. So, your sons and daughters shall be given to another people, and thy eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thy hand. Let's see what that word might in our hand means. Might in our hand. Okay. Strength, power. Boom. There shall be no might, no power, hand, strength. Salakia.
suffered so much, and we compare them to the white tea man. Why? Why do we think that that's something that should be acceptable? Why do we condone that? Why does any other black woman condone another black woman or entertain another black woman who has nothing but negativity to speak upon our black men, the father of our children that we chose to have? Because we live within a society that give us the choice to murder our babies or not. And when
Well, that she's wrong on, because no one does anything by choice. Let's see. This is Jeremiah 10:23. O Lord, I know that the way of a man is not in himself. It is not in man that walketh to direct his steps. So there you have it. Let's see. All right, this is Proverbs 9:16-9. A man's heart devises his way, but the Lord directed his steps. All right.
Black women make the choice to choose to give birth to a child that we had with a black man, most times we
And then she said,
compare them to the white tea man. Why? Why do we think that that's something that should be acceptable? Why do we condone that? Why does any other black woman condone another black woman or entertain another black woman who has nothing but negativity to speak upon our black men, the father of our children that we chose to have? Because we live within a society that gives us the choice to murder our babies or not.
all right, so it's not a choice. It's all the will of the Most High. This is Deuteronomy 32:39. And it reads, See now that I, even I am He, and there is no God with me. I kill, I make alive, I wound, I heal. Neither is any that can deliver out of my hand. So it's the Most High who kills. There's no God with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. I, first person, used for emphasis. Himself. There is no other God. Rulers, judges, divine ones, angels, gods, goddesses. All right. But it's a little G, not a big G. So it's talking about the. It's not talking about the Most High. I kill and I make alive. I wound, I heal. Neither is any that can deliver out of my hand. Okay? Neither is there any out of my hand that can deliver. Salakia. All right, let's go back.
And when us black women make the choice to choose to give birth to a child that we had with a black man, most times we want to kick that black man to the curb because of something he did or something he won't do. And we just so comfortable doing that. And then at the same time want to compare him to his oppressor, to those who hate him the most, and then we come right after them. Why do we feel like we could compare our black man to those who hate us? Because that white man gives us Section 8 and pay our rent? What, because he gives us food?
But that's in the scriptures. Let's see. Bear with me. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. So that's a curse right there, for the so-called black woman to go to the black man. To go to this so-called white man in hunger and thirst and nakedness and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
Stamps to buy our groceries? What is it? Because we get the public assistance checks to be able to buy our weed and our weeds and our nails. Don't forget the toes and the hands. What, we spending like $200 on nails? We spending up to thousands on hair? And the white man is helping us do that because he rules this evil world, and your black man is doing the best that he can to have an income to be able to.
See, even she knows that the so-called white man rules this evil world.
Do what he can to take care of you and all the children that you allow for him to impregnate you with. But he ain't good enough for us to speak goodness upon him, for us to show the world that he is our God. What the hell is wrong with us black women? I need some understanding. Please let me know.
Salakia, let's see. Let's see. Damn. Salakia. Damn. I can't think of the scripture.
Because this is going way too far for this black woman who has dragged the black man, and she dragged the white man when she got upset with him. I guess he didn't give her her way.
For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. This is Ephesians 6 and 12. That's the scripture that I wanted. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, and against the rulers of this world. Principalities. Let's see. Rule. Principality, rule, magistracy. Yeah, people who rule. Powers. Rulers. Let's see. A world ruler, an epithet of Satan, ruler. World, universe, period of time, age. All right. So that's all I got for that. And then go back
Because
to
as
the
black
video.
women, we always want to get our way, whether it's good or bad. We want what we want. And if we don't get it, we'll find a way to get it. And if that means that we tear down our black men and leave our black men, then that's what our fool asses do.
And that's because the so-called black woman is in league with the so-called white women. I mean, Salakia, with the so-called white man.
When we do make those choices, we want to point the finger at them. When we should be looking in the mirror. I'm posing.
So, Lord willing, this lesson has been edified. Shalom to the next one.